But it's true, we need to have a lot more women on our podcast because he's misogynistic as fuck. And
what?
I'm only joking. We just don't. Do you know what it is? I'll tell you what it was. It's like we just usually do it us two, and then I know a pile of comedians, and then we just realised.
Men are better at things, and how do you get women?
I've Diona Doherty lined up to come on, and we've got who else?
Sinead Haig.
Well, that's what I actually
and
said.
You.
Denial. I was like, I love the podcast, but you're really boring, and you do need more.
We do definitely do.
But then I asked the woman on the Patreon, who would you like, and they were like, couldn't give me an answer.
How many women's on the Patreon?
That's a good.
No, there is. There's loads of women on the Patreon.
I don't think that there
Shout out to all the women on the
guests.
Patreon. There is. There was a woman asked me, and I was like, "Well, who would you like?" And she couldn't answer me.
It's hard. Like, I know a lot of women don't want to come on either. I've noticed.
At the start, I know some great Staban characters that would be class on, and they just no chance. You're going to have to bring that mic a wee bit closer, or come in a wee bit closer to you.
Yous are wild to get close to me.
That's better there.
Right, okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
And you know what? There's a lot of good characters out there with great stories, but see, when they come on the podcast, you just clam up.
We always said that. Even I was doing stand-up for a couple of years when we started the podcast, and I still get nervous. On our first 10, I was nervous.
Do you still get nervous now?
Doing a podcast? No.
Doing everything? I do. I get nervous doing anything.
That's good, but I don't... Do you know where I would get nervous is if there's a big guest...
So you're not right. Right, okay.
No, I do get. I get nervous with all guests
because
Jenna said to me, "What are we going to talk about?" And I was like, "I can't tell you because
we don't know."
It's just like
that's the magic of our podcast.
That's the magic.
Anytime we rehearse anything or plan anything,
it doesn't go. No, there's no point.
Usually we guess too. It's usually about what their interests are, and
we also get a lot of stick for not letting guests speak. But you see, if a guest isn't speaking.
Oh, you just need to fill the void.
They're not speaking.
We've had podcasts where we're going, hey, let the man talk, and I'm going, he's just sitting.
Ronan said to me there, how many podcasts have you done? This is my third. The second, I can't let go out. It was only new and whatever, but I felt like that I was doing the talking.
Oh, it happens all the time.
And I was sweating and all, and then after it, I was like, can you send me everything? Because he had an OnlyFans model on that morning, and then me. And I was like, can you send me everything? So, before it was out, so I can prove it. And he's like, no, we don't do that. And I was like, no, but you are tonight. So
this isn't your podcast.
No,
so.
I was a guest on your man's, right? So that night, 2 a.m, and I was up anyway, and he messaged me, so, hey, I just posted this. Is it okay? And it was a picture of me, like a still. And it was like, OnlyFans model makes 30k, like a month making. So he got me in her story. I'm like, stop.
I don't believe you.
Really fucking ruined my life.
Jesus, you go to corporate.
And my daddy would disown me. So I was like, and then her one was like, entrepreneur, does voluntary work, mental health, her sit with a bandage. So I'm sitting going, like, I need to be so careful. Like,
it's fucking send out the OnlyFans link, would you?
Another thing too that happened to us is when we bring guests on, people are cheeky with us because we start talking, I guess, without doing an introduction. So Niall.
I don't do introductions either with mine.
Either we, but we're getting pulled about it because we're like, people are going, who the fuck are we listening to?
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Big Massive Podcast with me, Niall Cook, and your co-host,
Big Massive Ronan.
And we have a very special guest, female, woman, young lady, Jenna McCusker from the Mental Health and Me podcast and very popular TikTok House of Scent business.
Yes.
Look.
Oh, I got you stuff.
Oh, we got gifts.
We presents. Oh, it's not two for me. Look at this here. Look at this here. Hey, do you know what?
Open them out and smell them.
Women from now on.
You had one the last day. It was turf, and I was like,
oh, a lighter.
Oh, there's a lighter, right?
Weed.
Diazepams.
Oh, do you know what? My wife is going to love us. And
why are you smelling it like that? Open them.
Oh, it's nice here.
What's this here?
That's careful.
It looks like coke.
That's the best.
Cocaine. The best Charlie about. Jesus.
Lovely.
That's for your carpets and stuff.
For what?
Like, shake and vac.
Aye. You do the shake and vac. You put the freshness back.
You do everything.
You are the first guest to bring us gifts.
Do you know what?
I am.
You're from my favourite guest already. There we go, Jim.
And we haven't even got started.
We haven't even started. Girls rule. Hey.
I know. This is what I mean. It's a revolution, guys.
Unbelievable.
Get on with
The
it.
next female podcast better bring something.
She probably won't.
No. Who is
Next
the
guest.
next one?
Don't be sexist. All these bring presents.
Sorry, that was a wee bit of a faux pas.
House of Sense.
Very successful on TikTok with
Skeg.
House of Sense.
Do you think? Like, what is successful on TikTok?
Exactly.
Like, what is?
I know.
What does that even mean anymore?
I know.
Even when I did the Strabanter back in the day, and videos were sort of doing semi-viral, like 400,000 views. My Waynes thought, their friends thought I was rich.
I say, my son.
Thinks you're rich.
Thinks I'm a millionaire.
Because you're on a screen.
Aye.
You know what I mean?
Well, you eat new me every fucking week. Excuse me.
I know comedians that are full-time comedians that they probably only earn about 40 grand a year.
That's good, isn't it?
That's good. That's brilliant wages.
But hard
But
work.
people are seeing it thinking they're millionaires.
Or you see on the BBC or something.
You see, like the BBC are famous for not paying well
Well,
at all.
you both have a combined total of about 90 jobs. So how are you not millionaires?
I know. That's because we have 90 jobs. Instead of being smart.
If I
and
was
doing one.
millionaires, I wouldn't be working 90 jobs.
No.
True, actually.
Well, that's one thing we have in common. Hectic lives.
Schedules.
Lots and lots of just...
Are you married?
Working. Divorced.
Class.
Great.
We're going to get into
Are
the
you-
juice.
We will spill the beans.
I will. That's later on. I love the divorce chats.
We call it the juice.
I'll just be
That
sitting.
is good. I'll give you all juice.
We'll just sit
That'll
and
give
take a note.
Actually,
I'm going to do a pros and cons list.
there is no cons in a divorce. It's all pros. Highly recommended.
Unless he's called con.
Oh, he is a
This is the pro-divorce
he is a
podcast.
con, but I'll try not to say much.
Did you get married earlier or what? Like young, sorry?
I'm worse than a traveller. I was 24.
24, right.
But I was with him for a long time.
My dad was 17, you know. They married me now. And by
Are
the
they still
time he was
together?
21, he was undoing life.
He had a wee break in the middle of 15 years.
Married at
I
17, in jail for life at 21 with 3 wins.
Are they still together? Mm-hmm. Well, I would probably be with my ex if he was away for that.
That was some
length
break.
of time.
My ma got some
Usually
break,
it
to
would
be fair,
great.
like. 15-year break.
His dad had 3 wins and dipped out.
He seen me and
I'll
then
come back when they're 15.
my ma was pregnant, the younger brother, and then he was just like, fuck this, and touted himself. Rang him,
himself
hey,
up.
I
I am on the Ra.
There's a boy in the valley coming to
I'm doing a while out of fraud and all that. I forgot to ask as well, who was using this before me? Because I have OCD. And I
Me.
just want to make...
That's my mic.
But you also fart in the mic. So did you fart in this before I'm talking?
It's no, a bit of
I see
brand
that.
new cover.
Oh,
art.
Gemma, I love you. We're bringing good straight on about you shite yourself live on TV.
So she said it to me.
I'm fucking right. I'm letting him
That's
on.
still the one that always people. That's like the most thing that anybody asks me about. Like you could be in Derry or Dublin. Hey, podcast day. What about your mate? Did he really shite himself on the one?
Do you know what? I was at a football match in Antrim on Saturday, and there was a group of young fellas, and it was like, "Oh, we listen to your podcast," and I was like, "Oh, very good." And the wee boy said something about, "Oh, the one we used, screaming." And I was like, "Oh, which one's that?" And he was like, "The Terrifier." And the wee boy, "What about the one we shit yourself?"
You are known as the guy that shits himself now.
See if I could go
Out of
back.
everything that you've done in your
If
whole
I
entire life.
could go back, I would delete that.
No, you've done.
Man,
you
I
didn't
have-
just do it once.
I've had it. No,
You've
farting
done
I don't mind, but
Oh,
the burbling one was.
Oh, the verbal.
I was not.
Do you know the
expecting
best
that
thing
to be
about that one too is I was the only one sitting with earphones on.
Oh, so you heard it?
I heard the
You heard it.
where nobody else
Come on.
did. Oh, I knew this is. I was disgusted. Like that face wasn't put on. It was just like.
Oh,
But you know what? It puts
you make
people
me laugh.
like people love
So
it, but
much
at the
fun.
same time, like your sisters
Oh,
stop
she
watching.
She stopped watching. She was all. I used to fucking love that podcast. Low key fancied them both. Now I can't.
What do you call your sister?
No, but I can't say. I can't say
Can't
that.
tell her.
Kill me.
Gemma's sister, you absolute legend. Stop listening. That's what we want.
She was all. I used to love him, but your man now shit himself. That's done it for me. And the laughs of them. But I was laughing. I think it's hilarious. Like, just don't do it. in front
That's
of me.
human nature, just isn't it? But you don't do it in front of people.
Or you don't like off the mic.
Even a couple of weeks
Cut it
before, there was a
down.
boy caught down on video down our river banking in front of the shops doing a dump against the wall.
That's right.
And everybody was in the whole town was disgusted.
Was
and
it
then he
Niall?
That's basically what I do.
you more or less did the more people like.
Do you remember being at work the next day and one of the managers in Belfast
Did you
brought
get
up a
called to HR?
podcast and the sweat was running down my face, but she was talking about something completely different.
Aye, but you just heard podcast. It's like when you think you left somebody pregnant and everything on TV's got babies on.
I
it.
know.
I think you got someone pregnant. You're asking how I knew you. Niall, don't really know him, but it was about this time last year. I messaged
was,
you, and I was like, thinking, no, I am doing a podcast, and I was asking about Patreon and platforms because I had no idea at the time. And he's very lovely with his time and whatever, and then he's...
Good guy.
No, actually, you were a total dick.
He just does it on a snapshot.
No, he pretended to be nice at the start, and so he was...
That's hard for him,
but I was like, my podcast is about mental health, so I'm going to be talking about really like sensitive subjects. I'm going to have like wee cue cards, and he was like, I don't think you should do that. That's like wild professional. And I was like, Niall, you fart in mics.
I don't know what I mean. Why you even going to have
our podcast are different.
What happened? I was meant to be on your podcast, and then you pulled the plug. Somebody got in your ear.
Someone what?
Somebody got in your ear. Don't fucking.
No. I still. It was something like that. No, it was me. I was sick for about 2 weeks, so I had to cancel everyone.
So back to the podcast that you did pull the plug on. What's the story there? You just didn't not your own, the other one you did. It didn't go out then.
Well, fuck no. I thought it was an OnlyFans model. It got us mixed up.
But it didn't. That was only the advertisement.
I know. I just felt it was very like it was my podcast kind of. He wanted me to do the work. Do you know what I mean? It was really hard.
Should have been on your podcast. It was like he was your guest.
It kept saying, "Keep going." And I was like, "What the fuck?"
Do you remember we had a comedian
silence isn't on. You're just
we had a comedian on one time, and me and you were both hungover.
We were fighting each other.
We just fought with each other, and he never said.
He just sat in the middle.
I think if you listen through it, there's not.
Both of us had hangovers. I'll tell you, the whole pilot thing happened. We were meant to do it on here. You landed up. There's a party on.
I walked on the door.
Then he says, I went, fuck, I better cancel the comedian. And I rang him. I'm coming on the Lifford here. Then you had to get another room. And then straight away, he was just hateful.
And then you said to me,
he was hateful.
Oh, no, I didn't know nothing about it. And then you went, hold on. No, Prof did say something to me about that.
Somebody says, hey, you don't mind if we use next Monday.
It was actually like an Irish
speaking thing.
What is that?
And it was
how I knew you were crabbit is that I was telling the comedian about the best way to drive from Antrim to Staban. I says, do you know at this time of night you're probably just better going to Derry and staying on that good road instead of coming through Claudia and all that. And he argued with me, no, you're whole.
He's sure like a married couple.
Back and forth, so he's just sitting with arms folded.
Me and him were arguing about the best directions. You're good at directions.
He apologised.
What do you hear this? People do not know that Jenna grew up in Derry, lives in Derry, and she still uses a sat nav to get around.
Yeah,
Derry.
It's in I leave my street.
She's born and grew up in Derry.
I know people don't drive outside Staban. Anybody listening to the pod knows Eamon did it, but I know when I was in the tech or the uni, we doing that teaching thing. I used to pick a girl up she's from Clary, but she wouldn't drive any further than Staban, so I picked her up in Staban to drive on to Derry.
Whenever I came, I was not expecting this place to be where it is. It's really dodgy, actually.
Staban.
So as soon as I came in that alleyway, I just hit the lock door button because I don't know where I am.
She sent me a wee video of her just slapping down the disability blue badge, so that means they can just park wherever.
She's parked. I don't know. It's up there somewhere.
Class.
Romanians.
Are you in the van?
No, the car.
Right, well then let's take it back to We Want the Juice. Why did you feel the need to set up a mental health podcast? Take us way back. Take us back to the start.
We can do serious as well, by the way.
I know. And you know what? I do actually want to get a wee bit serious because
okay, now serious.
I want to have a serious element to this podcast because it started with a very serious story. Something that happened to you where you found yourself standing on the top of the bridge ready to commit suicide. So let's not laugh about that, Ronan, alright?
So we're getting straight on it.
Oh, aye. But I do love a wee... Like, I haven't spoke about this in my own podcast because my podcast is so serious and I am so unserious. So
yeah,
I can't tell my story while seriously.
But I think that's being not serious is one of the best things you can do for mental health.
It's a defence mechanism as well.
Aye.
It's just how I...
Growing up, it was a defence mechanism.
But I can also understand if you've had someone on that's probably still dealing with trauma for it, it's probably not the best.
Oh, Jesus, I couldn't.
Take jokes about it. No, like, fucking wise up, would you?
So
read the room, sir.
It started for me...
and if you don't want to tell anything, you don't have to.
No, I will.
This is a good advertisement for your own podcast. Tell everyone.
I was an orphan and I was found in the bin and that would be so
we needle in our arm.
That's the clip. It started off just as zoom in, and then just, I was an orphan, found it out.
No, I actually had a really, really good life right up until 2022. I got married really young, and the marriage was good and all, but then...
So this was COVID too? 22?
I actually...
No, the age of 21.
Oh,
no,
22.
No, 2022.
Oh, it was
right.
COVID? That was in the middle of COVID? 2 years?
All I did was
was the
work.
end of COVID?
So I had no idea. I didn't even know there was lockdowns. That's how much I was working at the time. At House of Sense, so I was just making all day.
Working from home?
No, I had a warehouse.
She's a warehouse, yeah.
And I really did not like my husband, so I loved going to work so I could get away from him.
So what age did you meet?
18, I was.
That's young too, yeah.
I was with him a long time, like. But it got really toxic, we'll say. You still have to be a wee bit respectful.
There's very rarely, and I don't know, my man and I, but they had the 15-year break, you know what I mean? But there's very rare that I notice, or that people that really meet, I'm no expert, but you can Google it probably, but people that meet when they're young and say 16, 17, and then there's that 7-year thing that everybody sort of changes mindsets and changes what they like.
Because you grow and people grow and develop and mature, and then you're not the same person anymore.
Exactly.
No,
Do you know? And you're not supposed to be the same person.
You're so
either.
dumb at 18, like. When
No, and I
like,
also had an affair as well, which was not helpful.
That doesn't help. What's Muhammad Ali say? If you're the same person after 20 years, you've wasted 20 years of your life or something like that. You know what I mean? You have to just change and develop. Like, I look back and cringe at everything out of my 20s.
Oh,
fuck, we talk about it all the
I
time.
was always a nerd, so I've
Were you?
always still am. I'm aware.
Well, that's where the comedy comes from, then. That's where your personality comes from, because I always say that if see people lose weight, I always have a wee whisper in your ear about, you still get the fat person personality. And they look at you going, So then they're the weight off, and they're wild crack, and they're generous to people that don't get treated properly, because they know. See, when you're the big fat boy, you're the boy that I remember the slow dances. You hold her bag right.
Hold on a minute, because slow dances.
I'm old. Discotheque days.
What stage? Yeah,
So you're out nightclub, and then the slow sets come on, and you have to go around then picking who you want to slow dance with.
Fuck me.
And then you might get a wee snog when you're out. But I was the boy going, hold that coat, sir.
Oh, Jesus.
I was sitting like that there, like. Do you ever see
Jesus
Ace
Christ.
Ventura when all the birds going, whoa, it's all handbags and fucking coats and all.
Ronan's well dead on it.
I'm the best friend, and then they're talking
he's
about the
lovely.
friend that's hateful and all. See that hateful bastard, you gone. That's if you want to go with me. Don't you worry about him, love. The whole time I'm being best friend, but I'm really.
Looking down her phone.
Aye, look at him. But you'll never admit it because you're the fat best friend.
You know what's even better? Being the gay best friend, because you get to see them undressed.
Aye. What? There was Big Mama's house, wasn't there? Sitting in the change room, sitting in the
Aye. And white chicks. Mine's white chicks as well.
So,
anyway, back to suicide.
but it is all connected, the way behaviours and humour and how you...
When I think back to 18,
Experience
19, I had the
things.
David Beckham hair. And
Which one?
It
Which
was a
style?
big blonde mohawk.
Oh, aye.
So, we were the type boys, we loved to cross from each other, but going through them stages, we would have looked at each other like, what the fuck's he at? But he would have definitely... I'd have been wearing fucking duffel coats, shaved head, you know what I mean? Running around fucking with the brown buttons on them.
He used, to have a long black coat, and I had the David Beckham hair, and he had it was
Nothing
tied.
on underneath.
A rope in the middle was tied.
Why? Were you a monk?
I looked fucking desperate.
He worked in Buckfast.
I helped the boy move house in America, and he gave me this leather jacket. He says, I'm not going to pay, but see this earring? It's worth hundreds. So I fucking believed him, and I was wearing it, the shape it. My wife now, she says she went with me, and then the second time she seen me, she seen that, and she just had them. Let me pass. Didn't want to fucking have anything to do with me.
Correct.
Right, come back to your story.
Right. This is what I mean, it's so hard to be serious. What part was that?
Suicide?
You didn't really get there, you just...
I'm not there yet.
22.
2022, I was working a lot, and then I was trying to get out of the marriage. Wouldn't let me out of the marriage, and left, finally got to leave, and he took the entire business. My business.
This?
Everything.
The one before?
This is reinvented.
Yeah.
My God, have you seen any kids?
I have a wee boy. We have a wee boy.
Yeah, aye. That makes it a wee bit more difficult, doesn't it?
Very difficult, aye.
But
So marriage is like a business contract, because you enter into it and you're like, I really like you, let's go to the government and say, we really like each other. Let's
forever.
Let's join us. Let's have wines and all. And then you have to beg a judge then to let you not be with this person anymore. It's fucking crazy. But so I took everything. I took the whole entire business. I went down to work one day with one of the staff and walked in, and there was nothing there, like right down to the very light switches.
Tax and all.
Oh, everything.
Blue tack pulled off.
So how long were you separated at this stage?
A couple of weeks.
Fuck.
He was just like.
He didn't. That sounds premeditated, there.
Oh no! He just
ready.
Like, he just knew that it was done. You know, that kind of way, and it was not going to get back basically. So
you had to start literally from scratch again.
So it was really hard because I was so well known. I am still so well known, but I was. I'm joking.
Us too. No money.
The business was well known.
Yes.
It was so good. I was winning awards and all for the products and stuff.
So it's the product name, really?
The product name, but then when something like that happens and it's so public, it's so fucking embarrassing. Like I was mortified for myself.
Were you?
Well, because my husband had an affair and then he stole my business.
Oh, he had the affair.
Why did you automatically think that?
See, well, stop sexist, would you? You just says the affair happened. I was going,
no,
yes,
but
just.
He did try and say that I did, but I didn't.
Right.
That's
I wish I did now.
Aye.
I so wish I did. But no, I don't wish.
No, because it's not you.
Public.
It's not 2 years. Do you know what I mean? So.
And then I had to sign on benefits and all again, and I was like, what the fuck is my life? Like, I was so rich last week.
So, but you were a lot to do with that first business.
What was mine?
Right. So, did you just then sit down one day and go, right, I can do this again? Is that what you did?
So,
because you're just ground zero again.
Ground zero. That's whenever I was like, I can't do this anymore. Post-separation abuse is even worse than when you're in it. So I was still getting all that, like, you're nothing, I'll ruin your life, and all that. Had no business. Was like, what's the point? So that's whenever I went to the bridge that night.
Right. So right.
And then I kind of just woke up. It's so weird. I don't drink and I don't take drugs or anything, so I wasn't drinking or taking drugs on the bridge. I was completely sober-minded, but just did not want to be here anymore. And I was holding car keys and something fell off and hit my foot, and I realised I had no shoes on. I was like, where the fuck am I? The keyring was off my son, like it's a wee photo from school, and I was like, what am I doing? I was like, I need to get back up and going. Like, I need to show my son that, you know, I can be strong or whatever. So that's what I did. Then I threw myself back into the business, secured the premises, and me still signing on. Got everything back up and running again. And then a few weeks later, broke my back.
You broke your back? But it's mad. See, let's go back to you changed your mind.
No, just like,
I know. But it's mad. That's
just God going, hey, oh, she's back on her feet.
No, you're not.
Whenever you said you threw yourself under, I thought you were going to say under the river. I was like, right.
Oh, I was so close.
But it's mad. It's crazy how some people, we know people that's happened to too, locally too, and it's just, it seems like that fall on your foot made you go, what the like you didn't realise you're in your bare feet?
No.
So it shows you where the mind can go.
I don't remember even going there. I don't remember driving there. But I do remember driving home and going, like, I want to live. And that's the first time in weeks, because before that I was like, I can't do this, I don't want to be here, like, it's so hard, what's the point?
And you know what, it's always something about mindset when you're in there, because I always think if I was going to do the suicide route, it would be like tablets in bed with a blanket around me. But why do people choose like violent, like jumping off a bridge? Holy fuck.
Well, I had it planned out. Like, I told my sisters that I was going to do it, so they were on like suicide watch. But I was thinking, like, there's a forest facing my house, and I was like, I can't do it there because, like, someone will find me.
So do you think it's like, obviously this relationship breakdown, business disappearing, all that? You just felt
disappear. It was stolen.
So it was stole, and then you just felt worthless, did you?
Aye.
So now where you're at now, you know all that success came from you. So you can do it again.
No.
You'll go to higher levels, I think, now, because you've overcome something massive.
Like, nothing that will ever happen to me in my life will ever, like, put me down.
Yeah.
Like, back then in 2022, I wouldn't even have went to the shop on my own because I was so low and I was treated like shit and told I was shit and hated myself and never left the house and never left work. So the fact that I'm even doing things like this, or even, like, it's mental.
It's a miracle.
My sisters will say to me, like, you are the complete opposite to what you were.
Do you know what? My brother's the same. My older brother was same sort of idea, and
he completely changed
religion. He's turned to, but not overbearing. It's all about him. He's like a new person. He's like the person I knew 15 years ago. Like he was 15 years, went into a hole, and
Zombie.
if I'd have got a phone call saying that he committed suicide or did any of that, I wouldn't have been one bit surprised.
I think my sisters were.
And they didn't want to talk to us. It's really hard when people are on that level because they do not want to converse. They don't want to chat about what's going on with them. I used to go up to his flat and they'd just stand at the door. What do you want? Or if I'm in, are you staying long?
Aye.
And you'd know. Do you ever notice when people...
And that was him in good form. Like, there's days he was just...
Oh, there's days he was a zombie. But I've noticed with people with real low mental health, you can read a lot from when you're inside their homes. See when people give up, the house starts deteriorating around. He didn't put curtains up. There's paint needed done. It was just... See, your house will just go to fuck if you leave it alone.
And do you know what? I've been loads of youth work over the years, disadvantaged families, and lots of depression, and the houses are... It's just, and they don't see it.
No. I'm very lucky that my mum and my sisters were so supportive. Like, they were up all the time and making sure the house was clean. But I remember lying on top of my bed one night and they were outside the door and they were like chatting, like, what are we going to do? And I was sitting on top of the bed and it was like my wake, but I was alive.
Mad.
It was the weirdest thing. And I kept thinking, I was like, how the fuck am I going to get out of this? Like, I didn't know what to do.
It's like what's the point, if anything?
What's the point? So they never left me on my own. But they kind of fucked up that night.
Did you hear all that? Hey, she looks great. Hey, she just looks like she's sleeping.
Check his pockets. If it was my family, check his pockets.
He probably did. I wouldn't be fucking here. I had nothing to steal. It was all gone.
Where's his PlayStation?
His dignity. That's all he's left. But it's some turnaround. So when did the recovery start, or how did you feel?
No, go outside. Go on to the breaking your back story.
Oh, the part you laughed at.
Yeah. Was that still when your mental health was low?
But it's just like, when you're down,
yeah,
and
so
you just get booted in the face further down. Like, it's just
James Turd.
But I mean, it is actually laughable that you're on the bridge and then like you
get yourself off the bridge nice and calm.
You're like, hey, should we start over again?
Survive! I'm a survival.
And do you know what? I've heard you tell the story and.
What are you asking?
You're just
our listeners
just take us that day you're on the quay.
So it was about 2 months after I was on the bridge one day in my life, and like things were getting good every day. I was getting like 1% better and whatever, and I was starting getting back to doing, like, I was doing my 5k in the morning with my sisters and the work, and I had staff and all, things were going good, and I was going, this is fucking great. I'm single.
I'm back, baby.
This is easy.
And I literally bent down the timeless, and the base of my spine just broke.
Well, you tied your lace.
That's the age level.
But I'll tell you, it's all, you'd be young enough, but I'll tell you, there's a wild lot of people that get injuries by stupid things. It's never a big...
Small things.
For me, it's getting out of bed.
You go to sleep and you wake up with a sprained ankle and you're going...
But do you know that point at the quay where that happened at my back? That's where I was going to jump from.
Fuck off.
No way.
Literally.
Are you religious? Or spiritual?
A wee bit religious. I kind of made some deals with God when I broke my back. I was like, please let me walk again.
2 signs you got?
Sunday.
Didn't you? Did you go to Mass or
I
something?
did go to Mass on a Saturday at 6.
Well, you said Sunday, so
Saturday.
God.
This is why I'm still disabled. He's like, you bitch. You said Sunday.
But there is, man, and sometimes, and he's 100% atheist, Tom Mayer, right? Mm. And I was telling Niall Bleed the last day a story. My brother's telling me, is like his best friend's son. He's on the spectrum and he's non-verbal.
Right. 5
years of age, and the brother's up at this place where there's meant to be Our Lady appeared and all that crack. Mm. He's going to laugh. This is the brother that I. This is the brother that I says.
The town flasher.
Turned it round, so he's 100% belief.
Aye.
And he actually goes up and helps weeding all around statues and all that crack.
Oh.
So he brought the mates and his son up to the well.
If that sounds like curing autism, I might like.
On the way home, the wee boy started talking.
No way.
100%.
What do you think about that now?
100%.
Pretend?
I don't know.
It was non-verbal. He didn't say a word.
See, I don't believe.
What do you mean you don't know? That happened. See, you're going to hell anyway. Fuck you.
So are you, Ronan?
No, purgatory. Me and the purgs. Me and the boys that are all sort of.
No, I don't believe in God, but I do believe in Sister Claire. And then there's another saint too. What I prayed to Carlos. She called him. He's only 17.
But you have to believe in God then if you believe in them.
No, I don't.
How?
Because
I'm not a big fan of organised religion. That's what you think, but there has to be some. What the fuck? Why am I so brilliant?
I wasn't alive when God was here, so I have no proof that God was here. But I was alive when Sister Claire was here.
So Sister Claire's the dairy girl that turned in a nun and went over and helped Africans?
It was some missionary. I feel really bad now for forgetting where it was, but she's buried in Derry Cemetery.
And why is she made a saint? What'd you do?
So whenever you... Sorry now, he's fucking on his own now. When you're a saint...
No, that's not relevant with the camera.
You be canonized as a canonized, you're called then, after like a certain amount of years. So if you've performed certain miracles and the people say that it was this saint that they prayed to, which again I don't know.
What was her miracle?
I don't know. It was there's a whole pile of different
change the wine into water. You fucking.
Well, I'm walking.
We're going to change this wine into water. Are you fuck?
Is the Claire one saint?
She is just recently there.
But do you not have to dig them up and they have to be fucking
3 years time now, so it has to be 10 years.
And if she's a saint, she'll not be.
No.
She'll not deteriorate at all.
So that fella, Carlos, who I was talking to,
pure Botox.
That 17-year-old, he's a saint, and his body's on display in
Italy. What 17-year-old?
And see it now in July.
Carlos.
Carlos, you call him Carlos?
I thought they stopped all that crack because priests now are superstitious. You know what I mean? Isn't there priests that are going around doing exorcisms? Like,
are they?
Like there is.
Aye. Funny, wasn't
but then it's like, why don't they exorcise all the fucking pedos when they're at it?
Take them up priests and pedos.
They're all staying in the Vatican as well.
Just the amount of people have died over religion is...
Oh, it's mental. I will never
the amount of abuse
why
and
people
death.
don't like each other because of religion.
Sure, even if you look at Israel, their argument is 3,000 years ago the Jews used to live there.
Aye.
So let's kill everybody. You know what I mean? That going by the religious book, calling it history. It's fucking sick. I even think, and people hate when they hear me saying it, but I just think education, take religion out of it. If you want to do religion, go to a Sunday school or something, or go to, do you know what I mean?
Aye.
Because I think take religion out and put business studies on. How to fucking get a job and how to keep it, or how to start a business. Do you know, in school, learn something that's good.
Or do mental health in school.
Big time. Mental health so needed in school.
There you go now.
Replace it. See, look. I just cured the world there now.
I actually do a mental health class in school.
You probably he has a mental health.
Oh, very good.
Mental health. That's that's sometimes it's hard when people see that the comedy comes out of me, but that's my relief.
Aye.
Because you're the same. For years you worked with the real tough.
That's what I was going to say. Your jobs are both really...
Working with the real tough. So this new job I got was going around the schools doing mental health awareness.
That's class. Because there was a fellow on my podcast, he was an inmate in McGabry, and he had a really bad psychotic episode and he pulled his own eyeballs out. He's totally blind now for life.
Jesus Christ.
He was one of the best footballers. If you ask anyone
What's his name?
Sean Lynch.
Sean Lynch.
He was only 16. He was signed to Newcastle. For like a 6-figure deal when he
Did he give him on the podcast?
Had him on now.
Interesting. When's that out?
It's out.
It was the first.
Is it?
One of the first.
Oh, did you listen to it?
Did you listen to it?
But you had to cut a lot of it out.
It's while back and forward because he is still a wee bit mentally unwell.
Right.
And I didn't want to exploit that
you're not
for him.
going
I wanted to get a story as well as I could for him as well.
You're a good one. We just throw out whatever, don't we? Well, anything he wants himself.
As long as you're not shitting on the podcast, we won't throw that out.
But my whole thing with him was, like he said on the podcast, it was like I had a God-given talent, and because I was so good, everyone was telling me I was so good, I never used to turn up for training, and then I would drink in the street and hang around the wrong crowd. So I wanted to take his story and do boys' schools to show them, like, don't pull your eyeballs out, like, to stay at school and all that. But that's down the line, and we're a bit busy right now, but we'll see. Or maybe you could take it.
I do a wee thing. I read a program and I called it's about risk-taking behaviour and how important it is. And the quick version of it is I would put up slides of people skydiving or bungee jumping or holding a spider in their hand or things like that, and they're all like, get the fuck out and do it. Or they're all saying, I'll jump this or I'll do the skydive. They all do. There's a percentage and it's smaller than it's not, say, 20%, 30% of the class will say they'll definitely do that. Other ones won't do it. Why? Because you could die, ultimately. That's the fear. And then I would move on then and write who would do this. And I always make sure that there's no teachers in and tell them it's confidential and they can talk freely because I'm a youth worker. Then I would put up pictures of drugs, alcohol. Who would do it? All hands go up. And then I would do, who would do this? And so we'd talk about the risk levels. The risk levels between bungee jumping and drinking alcohol. The death levels are through the roof, but they openly drink, fight, take drugs, take risks like that, where the chance of death heightens, where the stuff that's enjoyable and risk that they wouldn't do, only a small percentage. Then I move on to the really risky stuff. Who would do public speaking? Who likes interviews? Who would stand in front of the room? None of them.
No.
Why? I'm fucking you mental. I says, well, what's the worst can happen? Because the worst can happen, even bungee jumping, you can die. And it's an understandable reason why people have fear. Because like 10 people a year die of bungee jumping. But see, whenever you chat about doing an interview, just a normal interview, or a video with a camera in front of you, because you can easily find out too, if somebody says, I'll do it no better, I'll just pretend I'm setting up the camera in. And he goes, not in front of Eason's. I says, when you get in front of 1,000 people and talking, the last boy I said, he goes, I need to do them. But none of them. And the only risk of that is showing yourself up. Embarrassment. Nobody's going to die. Nobody's going to hurt. And literally, even I've died my hole in front of fucking hundreds on stage, and they forget about you straight away. You're forgot about, but as instant as nobody cares. That's my point. And I'm trying to say, taking risk is while important for your mental health. It's while important to develop yourself. Failure is while important. So then I go on to what you're doing, what you were saying about clips of people. Thierry Henry, or like Walt Disney was sacked from an editor because he didn't have creativity. Do you know, things like that, and then they're all like, "No way!" And then I finished with a big fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger, because the good thing about Arnold Schwarzenegger, everything he did, he succeeded in. First of all, he was the number one bodybuilder in the world by far. Then he was the number one Hollywood star, and then if it hadn't been Austrian, he would have been president of America. So. They want starting different careers at different stages of life and then going to the top. And he's talking about he loves people saying that's impossible because then you'll be the first to do it.
See, I'm kind of like that now, but only because everything I've been through.
Exactly.
Like nothing, I'm not going to die. But I do have really bad social anxiety. People think I'm really outgoing and stuff because I do post and I do podcasts and all, but I'm really not. Like grand like this, but I don't think I could do it in a crowd. Like,
do you not think you could do a live one yet? Like a live podcast?
I don't know yet. Like, I love making people laugh. Like,
so I think you need a situation where you can relax.
Have you ever been to a strip club? Say no, because you're married. Right, but see, whenever I see it on TV, the strip clubs, because I've never been to one. Do you know the way, like, you have the girls, say no again, you know the way the girls be like...
No, but I heard about it.
In front of everyone, and then you can go out the back, like a one-on-one.
Yeah.
That's the type of comedy I could do. Like one-on-one, go out there and show me.
There's comedians that are in the green room that are far funnier than they are on the stage. There's comedians that shite themselves backstage and then they go out and they look like the most confident person in the world.
The top ones come and get us. I seen him have an anxiety attack.
Oh, really?
That last day, he just gets down. Every time I've seen him, he gets down with his head between his knees. Down into like a squat position, breathing hard, goes down.
See, I think the higher it gets, the more popular and the bigger you are, the harder it gets because you constantly have to have new stuff. And it's a pressure for you to be the best on the night and it's all that shit.
It's like nearly performing on demand because some days you get up and you're like, I could not be fucked for work. And all I do is go into my warehouse to make stuff on my own. So how do you do it?
And do you know what? Like we've had a lot of big guests on recently, and people are like, "Oh, this is getting bigger and better," and I'm like, "Oh no." People are going to expect this all the time.
Do you know that you're on about the social anxiety too? You definitely had that back in the day because what other reason would I drink a litre of vodka before I went out?
A litre?
Before I went out, and then everybody's wondering why I was a lunatic. Fucking, I used to leave that much every time. I don't know why.
So you didn't feel like
I didn't. For later on.
Do you get recognised loads in the streets? In the streets of Staban?
Staban, now we were well known before we did this shit, but everywhere now I go.
I was in an event in Belfast on Friday, but I was just at the event as like a spectator, and so many people came up to me, like Belfast people, wanting photos now, and I was well, no.
I always get noticed a lot in Belfast.
Well, so see when I do,
scary though, isn't it?
Well, that's what I was saying. I know a pile of stand-up comedians that have no online presence, and nobody really knows them because it's only hundreds that see them. See when you put out a clip and there's like 500,000 fucking views. Like we had a clip there was nearly 1 million views. Jeez. So that's like 2/3 of the country. If you're thinking just here, that's seen you.
I know.
It took a while to get past the awkwardness of not knowing what they say when somebody says something nice.
Say thank you.
I can't do that. You know my dog is 18. And they'd be like, she's a fucking weirdo.
Changing the subject. The easiest thing to do is say thanks, man. Because I used to be the same all the time. Wise up, it's shite. or fucking throw something negative at it because we hate.
I'm a mess.
What one do you watch? Oh shit! Just the thing. Thank you. Because especially, see, whenever you go on, see in about a year's time, you're going to not have a clue what they're talking about. Because you've done so much. Exactly.
No, we're joking.
But seriously,
at that event, I just kept saying, thank you. I'm trying my best. I'm trying. Because they're like, oh, you're doing amazing.
That's a good answer.
Going, and I was like, I'm trying my best. Instead of going, thanks, I know. I'm fucking amazing.
Trying my best. We can't even say that because we're not.
Trying your worst.
I love that one when somebody drops the wee. Do you see that wee skit? I think they got a couple of famous people. Who did they get? They drop the wee paper and the boy comes up, here you drop that and you just go over and sign it and walk on. looks like he's running after you for a fucking autograph.
No skits with a guess.
I'm going to do a few with Shane tonight. He has no idea which is going to be.
Shane coming up on it?
Oh, you got him?
I know, I'm delighted.
Tell him to answer his phone, will you?
It's way hard to get in contact with.
Do you know what? Last time I was chatting to him, he sent me a big apology because I sent him for like 4 WhatsApps and he never got back to me and I was going, I fucking can't. But what he does, he archives. So he's so many people. Big Collins, the same too. They open their archive every now and again. Then and go and see what was. So they don't get them instantly. They get them when they want. They might sit down for an hour and look at them then and get back to
people. Did you see the football event the weekend?
How did Paddy get on with the gout? Paddy with
the gout? The gut?
I know.
I thought that's what he said.
The gout.
No, the gout.
He's got gout, but Paddy still thinks he's skinny, you know.
I see his big appendix scare and all. I was like, what is this man doing?
Just give it.
See if you talk to him, right? His gut is out there, but he says, I don't eat sweets. I don't eat fuzzy drinks.
Just the sweets eat him.
I'm at the most, physical peak now.
That's the way it goes on.
Look at him. When Paddy was in the ring, literally when Paddy went into the ring, you know, when I was fighting him, the gloves, for I don't know, everything he bought, so the gloves went up there, so you just seen a wee bit of that, right? The shorts went to here, and he had a big massive head guard, so it was all, what do you hit? I was looking at him going, this wee.
You're a balloompa.
He's just severe body confidence. I love it.
Paddy's confident over. Paddy has the confidence to take him fucking forever.
That's amazing. Though I wish I had.
I have good days. There's days I go, yes, happy with that. And then there's other days I'm just going, look,
who's that?
Fucking hand me notice under the wife. No, right? What are you doing, love?
So, can we take you back to breaking your back?
You're right.
No, do you know what? Because I'm fucking annoyed because I'm trying to sort some stuff myself. That was the NHS.
Are you trying to break her back?
No, it was the NHS. Helpful the whole time.
No.
Did you have to go private?
No, I did after. So,
see, when the back broke, were you on the ground? You couldn't move.
No, so this is the thing, right? Bent down to tie my list. I heard. Thought I wrapped my trousers. I was like, what the fuck? Didn't. Ripped my spine in half.
Jesus.
So all the discs in the back shot out, and all your main nerves are here at the bottom of your back, so they were tangled there. So all your kidneys, your bowel, your bladder, your ovaries if you're a woman, and your legs is all controlled by that. So it was like ice cold water running down them while pain. Every half an hour, a different body part was starting to go. So I was like, right, I really need to go to A&E. My sister was like, ring an ambulance. I said, no, I'll drive. Like, I'm that type of person. So I drove. My car was at A&E for a month because I was taken from Altney to the Royal. They actually made me wait for, not even ambulance. They made me wait in the waiting room for 6 hours while I was paralysed to death.
6 fucking hours.
They wouldn't listen.
Aye, man.
They would not fucking listen. I was like,
there's some disgraceful stories coming from that fucking place when it comes to A&E.
No, and then the boy, one of the consultants came out. He was a foreign guy, and he was like, "Hey, and our MRI. It was a Friday 5. Our MRI machine's off now for the weekend. Can you come back on Monday?"
Oh my god!
And I said, "I can't fucking walk. What do you mean?" So I ended up getting in, and then when I came out, all the doctors were outside, and your man
literally could not walk.
Left side couldn't. My right side at that stage, I was
Jesus Christ.
So your mum was at the back anyway, and they were like, "Look, this is really, really serious. We need to get you straight to the Royal, and you know you're going to be paralysed and all this." And your mum,
what did they tell you? You're going to be?
Your mum was hiding behind the clipboard, and I was like, "He tried to send me home. He tried to send me." But I went down, went to blue lighted to the Royal, had the surgery, and when I woke up, it was just paralysed from the waist down for like 6 weeks. 6 weeks it was.
But you didn't know. You were probably thinking this is a set.
I genuinely thought it was it, and I had to learn how to walk and all again. Had to learn how to use a catheter and all, and I was sitting going, my ex-husband is out riding rings around him, and I'm lying.
So your mental health was fucking going down the toilet again,
but still, when they said, they had a conversation with me and they said, look, we don't, because I kept saying, am I going to walk? Oh, that's all I need to know. Is there going to be a date and a time that I'm going to be able to walk because I'm really busy?
Things to do.
And my
doctor looking at you going, fuck up, learn how to walk first.
But going back to post-separation abuse as well, my ex wasn't letting me see my son, so he wasn't letting him come see me.
How did that happen? Did you not, because your injury? You got, right.
Because I was in the Royal, you see, so
he took the win.
I wasn't.
But
Danny couldn't move on with me under the
Makes
Royal.
sense.
So, but he was just using him then against me, but it actually ruined
Sad.
our wee boy, because see, even me coming here today, he was like, where are you going? How long are you going to be? You know, he's terrified I'm not going to come back, which is really unfair.
Worried about you, but it's showing you great. You're showing great resilience, doll.
I always try for him.
For yourself as well, but you understand that, don't you? You know, like I always, when you say to people, do you love? I say to the young people, you love yourself? And I said, do you not? Because if you don't, that's where you have to start, don't you? Right. You have to love yourself first before you can love anybody else or do well at anything.
It took me a very long time. I wouldn't say I love myself, but it took me a very long time to start seeing wee bits that I like.
Yeah, because you're going for life improvement, so that's meaning how do I get myself where I'm happy with who I am. Doesn't mean now look at me in the mirror. I don't mean that. I mean love everything about yourself. What are you working? Are you happy with your family? What you're doing as a positive? Do you know all that?
With all that,
so that's. And then you do get the days you're like, yeah.
So I
days in between.
had to learn how to walk again, and I remember it was a Saturday night. I don't know why I remember it was a Saturday night. Ryan Curtis, you know Ryan Curtis, MMA boy.
Yes.
Ronan, no.
No, probably no face.
Well, he was in the ward behind me. He was paralysed from the neck down, so I wouldn't like
what?
to him.
He got slammed.
Again, not even.
You wouldn't.
Did they do the big thing for money, or they did a big show for him then, didn't they?
GoFundMe.
They told him he'd never walk again.
Yeah.
He's class.
Legend.
Did you do a pod with him?
Mm-hmm. He came on my pod too.
Send us the details, all the people you had in your pod, will you?
You should do. You should want to watch it anyway.
He should.
Oh, right, the people. All right.
He wants me to get the people.
Oh, right. He wants you to do the
he needs a rule. Or a rule, sorry.
Do you know what? I've had some amazing guests, so I'll give you all.
How many guests? Many episodes have you done?
18.
Oh, fuck, I didn't think you did that many.
Do you know what? Hey, it's nobody wants to hear a mental health podcast from someone who can't relate. So the fact you've been through all that and your mental health's been on the floor and you felt suicidal and you've had a really challenging life and you've had to build resilience, and that makes it,
you know, it's a
better foundation for it.
The important thing too.
I never thought I was going to say this, but I feel comfortable with you, and I think it's because when you share your story and your vulnerabilities, then people are going to open up to you. Then, do you know what I mean?
It's all about the listeners, you know. Even our pod, that's mostly it's messing about and it's never serious and all that. But it helps people's mental health as well. We get texts about going, we listen to you a few minutes a week. People know.
Right.
But for you, like, if you're always on that subject, there's definitely people going to be tuning in to help heal themselves and help get themselves right.
I get messages a lot saying, like, I really needed to hear this today because, like, I was going to take my life, or people thinking about it, or I was thinking, you know,
the way people's brains work, people that are in real bad positions think it's only them that feel like this.
And that's why. So, see, not shouting, but talking about going through a divorce, losing your business, breaking your back is not nice to talk about all the time.
No.
But when I was going through it, the only podcasts that were talking about divorce was American. Yeah. And I couldn't relate because they were like all completely different. Like no one here was talking about
different experiences
and you know what to expect and how hard it would be and how fucking amazing it is as well.
ultimately, yeah.
And so that's what I thought. Then I thought, right, whenever I'm mentally and physically better, then I'm going to talk about it more and try and help people locally. And
I think that's it. When you're in situations where you're like, it's like you're in a situation where you had a broken back, you're going through a divorce. And you're thinking, why not? When you're sitting going, why not do things that I want to do? Why not take these wee risks? Like why the fuck not? And I did that it did take me a bit later on, but you just go, do the things you want to do. Like every job I have, I like. I'm not going on anywhere in the mornings going, fuck this, because I'm a youth worker and a comedian.
Yeah.
And we do the podcast well, so that's the three sort of bases, and I'm happy.
I know that's my main message to people. Like I get women all the time, like at public speaking events, they come up and they're like, I really want to leave my marriage, you know, I'm not happy. They're like, fucking leave, but it is not that easy.
No.
Like, it's not, as I say, it's like a business agreement. Like,
I have a mate that fell out with a wife not that long ago, and he says, like, there's nothing, even us, we're together. There's times, and it's like brothers as well. There's that one moment where they're the most hateful bastard that I've
who your partner,
that one
and
moment.
you're looking going, like, I have a mate that left, that's it. And I went to his sister for a day, and then I was like, where am I going to go?
This is what I mean. You're
That's
like,
the
I'm
initial.
back again.
Because you've got kids, you've got mortgages, you've got everything, systems in place for fucking 10 years, and then you just can't.
I may as well just fucking ride this out until I die, because like it's handier.
Because
there's people
that
exist
signed a
together.
contract and it's a binding fucking finances are tied up.
I'll never say it's easy, because it's not. Like, you know, those months after, because your whole new way of life, and because I was with him for 15 years, Christmas was coming up, so I had my first Christmas with me and my son, and all those other traditions, we didn't do anymore. Like, I had to start my own, but
all your routine, everything that you're so used to was broke. But then you're probably, now looking back, you're thinking it's the best thing that happened.
Best thing, I wanted to get out for about 6 years, so that's my only regret.
There you go.
Like, wasting those years.
People listening are thinking that they're stuck in this relationship, and it's mad how not one human being can manipulate and control another.
Aye.
Like, and it doesn't. It's not I don't think it's one way or the other. Two, it can be anyway. Do you know what I mean? Men can do it to women, women can do it to men, and
That's two-way street.
That's psychological.
I did
fucking
stay,
warfare.
even whenever it was getting like really, what do you call it, emotionally abusive and stuff, because I was like, oh, he told me he would change, he would go to anger management and all that there. But it was the fair then that I was finally, because he wouldn't let me leave. Like, he was like, I'll try. But the fair then I was like, get so far to fuck.
I bet you there was a bit of relief with that, because you're getting out. There's my exit now.
It was like
an excuse to go. Fuck you. Thank fuck.
I was. Do you want to sleep with someone?
But I think you're right. I think it's good. I always say to young youth workers, especially ones that go through care or had a rough enough life, that they're the best youth workers because of experience.
Yes.
No, and it's the same with you. If you've come from I'm not saying all rich, because a lot of rich people that don't know anything about money's mental health are really low because they don't know what any bit of struggle or success is like. But I think if you've went through the shit that you went through, or you've got a story, people are more open to listening because you've walked the walk rather than.
Why a podcast? What inspired you to do a podcast?
Because any local podcasts are shite. Am I joking? That was me.
She's not.
No. Basically, that they're. Oh, I thought I really annoyed him there.
No, he just does it. Just gets up and.
So, do you not want to hear about the?
No, I know the most rudest thing you can do.
So now the podcast. There's none in Derry. I don't think. I think there's one. No one's talking about mental health. As I said, I don't think there's any female ones. So it just seemed a wee gap in the.
There seems to be a lot more. See, Diona has her team of.
But that's Belfast.
Yes, I forget. She's from Derry but lives in Belfast.
I'm actually going to her. We went to school together.
Yes.
I'm going to her show now on Friday as well. Diona's lovely.
See, there's so many people based in Belfast, and then they think up here's a million miles away.
I was meant to ask this. Why do you call? Is it Derry the big Staban? Why?
He's the whole thing.
Right, I'm ready for it. Tell me, because I'm dying to know.
When we had the Strabanter page, I don't know if you remember that.
I do. Whatever happened to the boy with the mask? I thought that was you know.
A lot of people did. A lot of people just thought me throwing the mask on, but nah. The page got stole off us, and then we just didn't bother doing it again.
Was it my ex-husband? Did he steal your page?
I know, we just on one day it was all
Send me his
gone.
dates.
Even left, right and centre.
Can I fight?
Me? I'm joking, Jesus.
That's what happened. Fucking the page just got stole, and then I wasn't going to put all the effort into doing that again, and I moved sort of more into stand-up and plays and stuff like that.
Because it is a lot of work. Podcasts too are a lot of work.
Now people saying start another one. I'm going, no, I put fucking 4 years into that. They bring it up to 70,000 followers, and like that was took away. My big mistake was I didn't go on all platforms.
So that was wiped out.
I would actually delete the page now if I had accessed it.
Why?
Because it was all corny, just starting out comedy
it was
10 years ago.
Shite, trash, but hilarious. Hilarious.
100%.
People love that kind of stuff.
But it did run its course. And then
Especially
I was just like,
stupid men love that.
Dopey men, stupid.
Silly men.
Silly, no. So there was no start, middle, and end to anything.
No, it was
Get
just...
on, hey! And the other thing we did was we got on drunk, which is a big no-no.
No.
Do not on
do
drunk.
that.
You know what I mean?
Done a lot of good too.
How do you come up
We
with...
thought at the start we was just messing up. How that page started was me and my mate started just doing funny stuff on Facebook. But then we said, you know what, we'll start a wee page so our work don't see us. And whoever likes this shit that we do...
70,000 people.
We thought we'd get about 40 people that like the crack. Because we stayed up late and all. Has time difference. He's in America, I'm here, so we used to get online when he was... So we were just drinking and whatever, and the crack was good. But then it just took off and snowballed. And then I did about 80% of the fucking work.
That's never a good...
And then they were like, do it again. I was going, nah. So my even own pages now are nearly at 30,000 followers, so...
You better do it.
I just build up my own...
So who does all the editing in the camera in here? You two just? Between yourselves?
We have a cameraman.
We have Americans moving on.
No, he was supposed to come down, and he was like, "No, I'm working today," and then he left the card.
Well, our pod is usually later on.
Aye.
But he couldn't get away. So this is,
We usually actually have two cameras.
Me?
we usually do.
We usually have two
right.
cameras.
That's why we're so close to.
Aye. Oh, right, okay.
We would have had a camera just on you.
Kind of raging. You want one just on me?
Did you tell him this was the only time you could do it?
Aye.
You're lucky you said that.
Aye. Why?
Because we'd have the team in later on. You see,
No,
Mark.
Aye, just Mark.
the production team?
We're actually bringing a guy in from America to do a bit of work on it now. Hey?
Sure, I could only do now because I have to go back and work at House of Sense, and then I have my own podcast tonight with Shane.
Do you edit your own videos? Or does the...
No, well, I would watch them and kind of like write out what I want done, and
who edits?
Send it through. Steve Owens. He does.
I know Steve used to be MMA.
Aye. He's come back.
Dom's fought him, and
That's right.
that was a mental fight.
Chaos.
That was one of them fights for Staban. Nearly ruined it. The result, because whenever Doms was winning, the whole place nearly tipped the cage. As a judge, getting up, going, get back.
That's the night the boy hit James Gallagher on crutches.
That's right, and then Andy sparked.
That was a mental night.
Big Staban.
Big Staban. So what happened was, I can't mind.
That's a sign there, Baxter Man.
Where's your sign?
We just called Derry. We says we were the proposal. Do you know the whole argument about Derry, London Derry, Maiden City, and we need to change the name. So we says, well, how about changing it to Big Staban instead?
Is that it?
That's it. And then we just did videos about it, promoting it, Big Staban.
We're looking for a studio.
And then somebody did the Little Britain, Little Staban.
No, it's just upstairs in my warehouse.
I know, but it looks fancy.
It's like a wee section.
We actually like in here, but it's just you have to take all the stuff down and put all the stuff up. And we actually do like the background.
Do you know Charlie, the man that owns it, not the substance?
Charlie used to own it. Now he's moved on. Aye, you know both well, don't you?
Oh, really?
He had a big, long, sharp nose.
Now I'm like Danielle Westbrook.
Don't belong that much, but go on there, look.
Fuck, did you see her?
You used to
I've seen her. I'm going for a nose job next month.
Are you fuck?
I broke my nose twice.
So straight?
No, it's broke here. And
See,
I can't breathe well.
That's the thing too. You're like me, you look in the mirror and you see imperfections.
No, I don't see them. I was fucking headbutt in the head.
See, we're talking about mental health and all serious. Like you would have been depressed over your weight going up and down over the years.
Weight was the only thing that got me, and it still does.
So.
Still fucking does.
Oh,
because
I was fat as well at one stage.
Were you?
Well, I think. Well, hang on, let's see if I've got any. No, actually, you don't fancy me anymore.
What were you? A couple of stone heavier?
3 stone now.
But you're not a pickany.
But that's because I eat like an athlete now, and I would say train, but I just go to the gym and move.
Do you in the gym most days?
Most days. It's more
You probably have to do very specific training, but
just slow, repetitive movements.
Still good for your mental health.
That's why, yeah. I think people in the gym go, why does this woman pay a membership to lift a 1 kg dumbbell and go?
But do you ever I have a mate started wanting to lose weight, went to the gym with me. After 2 weeks, he complained because there's no difference. What the fuck's? When's this meant to work? And it's my fault. He's over in the gym going, when's this meant to
You're over there slabbering about the gym and how good it is.
But it's eating.
It has to be. It's all eating to lose weight. But the gym for me is it'll build muscle, which helps. But it's mental health. You're getting them stresses out of you.
But eating for me for mental health. That's why I eat so good, because if I eat bad, it affects me mentally.
100%. I think that's what it is with me too, because you get... See, if I do one of them belter nights where I eat a cake and fucking 4 bags of crisps, the next morning you're getting
off the bridge.
The smelly farts and the big dirty poo, and you're just sitting depressed eating a sandwich while you're shitting at the same time.
I heard you said that before. You're disgusting.
That's happened. I did it last week. What's wrong with my life?
I don't know why this is happening.
I don't eat the crust, so I held the crust in my hands while it was finished.
Wait, Ursula.
That's a good bit of advice if you're ever out in the field.
Don't eat the crust, keep them.
Save them socks.
Well, Jenna, we're at an hour. Hey, thank you very much.
Do you know what? The best ones always fly in like this, Jenna. So
they did.
You've actually made
you were
me
definitely calling her Gemma for the first couple of times. He was definitely calling you Gemma for the first 10 minutes.
Everybody does. I don't correct anyone anymore.
That's because that's what you sent me.
You said Gemma. Thanks everyone for getting my name wrong.
Oh my god!
I definitely.
What did you say, Ronan? You said this is actually the what?
There's one. These fly. See the fast ones. You know they're the good ones, but it says make me wife when I invite more women. Because women aren't usually crack. Niall says.
What?
He said that. I have earphones on. I can't hear.
I don't know if they will be as funny as me, but like they can try.
They can give it a go. But no, that was brilliant.
Women are amazing. You need both men and women.
No, we'd love to get you back as well, because there's loads of, like, that was an hour and we haven't even scratched the surface. You know what I mean?
Let me go through a bit more trauma again. Let me get divorced.
It always comes in threes. So
ring us when you break a fingernail or something. Hey, boys, get me back on.
Comes in threes. You must be, well, when your big third trauma happens, we'll have you back then.
Hold on, that was fucking 3 traumas?
When we put out the clip about you found the band.
I was an orphan.
That will be a good hook, but then it'll bring people in. Then they'll listen to a good story.
They'll be like, "Fuck! I never knew that about her." After everything she's been through, she's also an orphan.
Found the band in Calcutta. Thanks a lot for coming on.
Thank you very much, Jenna. And
good crack.
Get on to Jenna's podcast, Mental Health on Me, on everything.
Yes.
And if you need any smelly things, go to your
might be on a future
nice smelly things.
Yeah. You might get me in an episode of it. You need to ask again, just.
I would get you both, but I couldn't bear you both.
One at a time. So I'm a comedian. He's a health guru. So mix it up.
Health guru.
I think we should just say, because this is a mental health podcast, if you are struggling with your mental health, wise up. Just fucking calm down, would you?
Subscription.
There is people out there, but there is people out there with help for addictions and for stress and for all that kind of crack. Reach out. You're not on your own.
If you do want to send us a message, no bother, we'll speak to you.
And get a divorce.
DM now.
That's what it's going to go. That's what this podcast called.
If you want to send a message, send it to the podcast page.
Jack, go away, the fuck would you? Right then,
it's probably an addict.
No, it's money related. I know it's Roblox.
Do you want to plug anything before we?
Just Mental Health for Me, House of Sense, just all that. Support a single mother in need.
Brilliant.
Please,
thank you.
Thank you so much.
Up a fucking hoods.